So as you know that I am preparing the videos of salt test, that means qualitative analysis of the inorganic salts, and if you will check the practical chemistry playlist of my YouTube channel, you will find that I have put up the video of separation of anions at first, in which the anions were grouped into concentrated H2SO4 group and dilute H2SO4 group. Alright, so that was something very basic. Before you start finding out which cation is there and prove it by conformity test, first of all you need to separate the anions. So that has been done already. Today we will do the group separation of cations. So many teachers and examiners and students, they call cations to be basic radicals. So if somebody says group separation of basic radicals, do not confuse. So basic radicals or the cations, they are the same thing. Each salt is made up of a number of cations or a number of anions, or one cation or one anion. So in our syllabus of class 12th, we have to find out one cation and one anion present in the given salt. For anion analysis, I have given the previous video of separation of anions into groups of dilute sulfuric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid, not the conformity test. Conformity test I will be giving later on. But now, after the group separation of the anions, let us understand how to separate the cations into groups by various group reagents. Now the cations are grouped into 7 groups including 0. That means 0 group to 6th group. In 0 group, ammonium cation or basic radical is present. So since only ammonium is present, ammonium ion is present, so just by testing it with sodium hydroxide, which will give the ammonical fume, it can be found out that ammonium salt is there. So separation of ammonium from any other cation in the same group is not required, and hence there is no specific group reagent, but we use NaOH to check for ammonium ion, and when NaOH is put into ammonium salt, then ammonium hydroxide comes out, and that ammonium hydroxide gives ammonical fume. I mean to say that if you take any ammonium salt, say if I take ammonium chloride and if I put sodium hydroxide solution, then this will form ammonium hydroxide plus NaCl. This ammonium hydroxide is nothing but ammonia gas in H2O. If you count the number of hydrogen atoms here, you will find that 4 hydrogen plus 1 hydrogen is 5 hydrogen, 3 hydrogen plus 2 hydrogen, 5 hydrogen, 1 oxygen here, 1 oxygen here, 1 nitrogen here, 1 nitrogen here. So ammonium hydroxide is actually ammonia gas dissolved in water. This ammonia gas evolves out. It evolves in the form of ammonical fumes. Now what are ammonical fumes? Ammonical fumes are the fumes of ammonia gas, and it smells like urine. You might have smelled urine when you would have gone to the washroom. There it smells like ammonia because our urine also contains nitrogenous waste. So nitrogenous waste also gives out ammonia. Next is group 1. In group 1, we have a number of cations which can be separated, but in our syllabus we have lead only. Otherwise, silver can also be there in group 1, which is not to be tested. So lead is converted into, any kind of lead is converted into lead chloride, and white PPT will form. So if white PPT is formed, then we suspect that lead might be present. So after NaOH is put, then HCl is added. Soon after NaOH, if ammonical fume does not come, then HCl is added, and after HCl is added, if white PPT we get, then we suspect that lead plus salt is present. Reaction involved in this case is, we can take any salt of lead, say PbSO4, or maybe we can take a soluble salt of lead nitrate, treat it with HCl, it will form white PPT of PbCl2 and 2HNO3. Now, if no white precipitate is obtained, if you don't get ammonical fume, then you put HCl. After putting HCl, if you don't get white PPT, then HCl will be there in the solution itself. Now you have to simply add H2S solution. Now how to prepare this H2S? This H2S either you can prepare from Keep's reagent, so Keep's apparatus. In Keep's apparatus we take ferrous sulfide and treat it with H2SO4. It forms H2S gas plus FeSO4, and this is passed through water to form a solution which can be preserved. But if you don't have Keep's apparatus, or if you don't want to do the testing in large scale, then this is a trick. In this trick you can prepare H2S gas instantly by taking sodium sulfide flakes and treat it with water. It will form Na2S, it will form NaOH, and H2S gas will be formed. Now in this solution, it will not be pure H2S solution, but don't worry, sodium ion we don't have to test at all. So even if the presence of sodium ion will be there, then also this solution will act as a good group reagent. So this is a small trick which you can apply in absence of Keep's apparatus. Next, if you do not get black PPT of lead, mercury, copper, cadmium or arsenic, arsenic gives yellow PPT with sulfide. If you don't get the such PPT, then you have to boil off the solution first. First of all, boil off the solution completely or take original solution. If you have enough salt with you, if your teacher allows you to use ample of salt, prepare original solution once again. But if you have only trace of salt, then you have to boil off H2S, then neutralize the acid which you have given with ammonium hydroxide and then add a pinch of ammonium chloride. On doing so, the group 3 cations like aluminium, iron and even chromium, they will form precipitate. Iron 3+ and chromium 3+ will give brown precipitate, whereas aluminium hydroxide will give gelatinous white precipitate, which is also called as white flocculate. If you don't get gelatinous white precipitate, if you don't get brown precipitate, then to the same group reagent you have to add H2S again. On adding H2S, what will happen? If the salt contains cobalt, it will form cobalt sulfide, nickel sulfide, zinc sulfide, and manganese will form manganese sulfide. This will give black colored precipitate. If precipitate, black or brown precipitate is obtained, then we will go for the conformity test of each of these. Else, what we will do? To the same solution, we will apply heat and we will boil off the H2S, or we will take original solution and then we will, in the solution of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide, we will add ammonium carbonate. Then this carbonate ion will form barium carbonate, strontium carbonate or calcium carbonate. All these three will form white precipitate. All these three will form white precipitate. After the white precipitate is formed, then we separate them in 3 test tubes and we do the conformity test of each of these. which I will tell you in the other video. Today we will be only doing the broad cation separation only. Sixth group only contains magnesium cation. Its group reagent is ammonium phosphate in presence of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. So it gives a white precipitate of magnesium ammonium phosphate. As we know that magnesium is 2+ ion. So with ammonium phosphate, two of the ammonium can be displaced by one magnesium. So one magnesium ion can displace two ammonium ions, and the three charges can be satisfied of phosphate. In this way it will form a white precipitate of magnesium ammonium phosphate. So we will see a few of these reactions now. Let me see what is there in this. This is ammonium salt. So ammonium salt will be of which group? It will be of 0 group. How do we test it? Using sodium hydroxide solution. No sooner I have taken this out, I am getting ammonical smell, and this ammonical smell will be very good if you are suffering from common cold. This helps to soothe the respiratory tract also. So I am getting a soothing feeling because I am smelling it from a distance. Now to take the ammonical, this is sodium hydroxide. Now I cannot show you the smell in the video. So what I will do is, I will convert the ammonia gas into ammonium chloride, and white fume will come out when HCl will be passed through it. So I have moistened a glass rod with HCl, and I have taken sodium hydroxide. I have closed it. Now I have brought this glass tube near it. You will find that white fumes are coming out. Is it visible in the screen, sir?
No, it's heat.
Now?
Yes.
So this white fume is nothing but, this white fume which has come is nothing but ammonium chloride. So a reaction takes place, can be inferred only when these changes occur. Change in the smell, change in the color, change in the state of matter, evolution of gas. So we have seen what? We have seen that I treated ammonium salt with sodium hydroxide. Then the ammonium hydroxide which was obtained was treated with HCl in glass rod. This gave white fumes of ammonium chloride. This is sublimable salt, you know, sublimable salt. So it exists as fume very nicely. Still you can see that the fumes are there. Next, I have another ammonium salt. 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 That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 students can get ammonium salt with different anion. So don't think that if you ask in the exam that what was your cation, somebody says anion, then write down the same anion also. Anions can be different. It contains carbonate, so you have to do the test of carbonate. It contains chloride, so you have to do the test of chloride. It contains Acetate, so you have to show the taste of acetate. This contains nitrate, so to show the taste of nitrates. This contains oxalates, so show the taste of oxalates. So although two students can get same the time, but the anion can be different. So be careful. So you have to learn about the anion analysis also. Now I am taking group 1 salt, say it is lead nitrate. So I will show you the property of lead. Make the solution of lead nitrate. Now first of all we have to put dilute HCl in this. But before I put dilute HCl, there should not be any white precipitate. Now the whiteness what you see in this is not the precipitate, but it is a colloidal substance. It is due to the impurity in the salt, because in the laboratory the salt which we use is not of analytical grade. They are general grade salts. So it has some impurities. So what I will do is I will dilute it little bit more. Now clearly we can see that it does not contain any precipitate. Precipitate is a solid which should settle down. This is a colloidal solution. So further I can dilute it to make it little less intense, so that we can see the prominent precipitate. Now there is no solid particle in this. There is no solid particle in this. But if I will add HCl, let us see what happens. Now you can see the difference between the white precipitate and the colloid. The difference is clear. So earlier it was not white precipitate, but now it is white precipitate. You can see the heaviness now, how much heavy the precipitate is. So this now contains not lead nitrate, this contains HCl and lead chloride, whereas this contains lead nitrate solution. So this difference should be very clear. You should have experience of finding out what salt looks like what. So what I did just now is I took lead nitrate, diluted it with water, and then had treated with dilute HCl. So I got white PPT of PbCl2. Plus nitric acid in aqueous condition. So this was precipitate, and its color was white. This is the lead chloride formed, and this was a lead nitrate solution. You can see the difference. Next I have copper 2 plus salt. Say for example, if I don't get any white precipitate. Example, I have taken a group 2 salt now. Group 2 salt very easily we will be able to find out, because copper is given very commonly. So copper is blue in color. I can tell you one poem to remember the color of the salt. Cuckoo flies in the blue sky, insects creep in the green grass. That means copper and cobalt salt are blue in color, and iron, nickel and chromium in the lower valence state are green in color. But iron rusts give brown dusts. That means if FeSO4 will form Fe2SO4 whole thrice, it will form brown color. So this is copper 2 salt diluted. In this there is no solid particle left now. If at all it is left, I can decant it off. I have done the decantation. Now I have got true solution of copper sulfate in water, aqueous copper sulfate. Now, just like custom, it is a custom to put the first group reagent. Whenever we will do group testing, directly we will not do the group testing by that particular group reagent. We will run standard procedure. So I have put HCl and see no white precipitate is formed. No white precipitate is formed. That means it does not contain group 1, it contains group 2. Now what is the next standard procedure to be done? Next standard procedure is to put H2S in it. Now this contains hydrogen sulfide solution dissolved in water, H2S gas dissolved in water. Now see what will happen if I will put H2S. See, brown precipitate is formed. Brown precipitate is formed. This confirms the presence of group 2 salt. This confirms the presence of group 2 salt. Now you will say that, sir, by seeing the color only we can find out. Then why to put this? See, if you will get very faint, if I mix it with water and dilute it infinitely, you will not be able to make out the color. The color of blue, the blue color will not be that prominent. The blue color will not be that prominent. But brown color is prominent. Customarily, again I am putting HCl in this. Again I am putting H2S in this. Now see, the blue color was not prominent, but the brown color is prominent. So very easily you can prove that it contains group 2 salt and the salt is copper 2 plus salt. That can be confirmed later on. This is only group separation of cation. So the reaction which I performed here was this is done, this is done, this we are doing. So we had taken copper sulfate solution, I treated with dilute HCl, this formed CuCl2, I treated with H2S gas, this formed a CuS plus 2HCl. This gave the brown PPT. During the Viva OC, your examiner may ask you, can you show the reaction which took place while the brown precipitate was obtained? At that time you have to speak chemistry and show the reaction. At that time you cannot just say that it happened like that itself. So you should know the chemistry. Next we will go to group 3. Let's see what is there in this. Alright, this contains ferrous sulfate solution. Very interesting salt. Ferrous sulfate solution is a very interesting salt. Oh, it is ferrous sulfide, not sulfate. This is ferrous sulfate. Without coming to the laboratory, I am giving you an opportunity to see the color of the salt. The color of the ferrous sulfate salt is, see, green in color. I said that insects creep in the green grass. Iron, nickel and chromium are green in the +2 oxidation state. But they form brown dust when they oxidize. They form brown dust when they rust. I can make it brown by heating it also. When I will heat it in presence of oxygen, it will form ferric sulfate, it will become brown. But that is not our topic of discussion now. Our topic of discussion is use of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. So I will put a little bit of ammonium chloride in this. So I will put a pinch of ammonium chloride. But before that, I will make a solution of this. So take that much quantity of salt which completely dissolves. If you will take lots of salt, then already there will be a deposition. So I will just decant it off. I could have taken a pinch of salt, but in camera it will not be seen, so I have taken 1 scoopful. This can be used for a second set of reaction. Now to this I will put a pinch of ammonium chloride. Now I will put ammonium hydroxide. What did you see? It formed a dirty green precipitate. A dirty green precipitate is formed. This dirty green precipitate is nothing but a mixture of ferric hydroxide and ferrous hydroxide. So if it would have been ferrous hydroxide, it would have been only green in color. But the brown color is due to the presence of ferric hydroxide. So I just write down the reaction. I have taken ferrous sulfate solution. This was green in color, plus this was aqueous, diluted. Then I had put ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. This hydroxide ion converted Fe to FeOH whole twice. If I would not have used ammonium chloride, then large amount of release of hydroxide would have taken place, and Fe would have formed FeOH whole thrice. So this is Fe2 plus salt and has to be tested as Fe2 plus salt, not to be tested as Fe3 plus salt. So Fe2 plus is obtained like this, and this gives, the mixture of this gives dirty brownish green PPT, dirty brownish green PPT. See, this brown color which is forming is due to the ferric hydroxide formed, and the green color which is there is due to the ferrous hydroxide formed. So if we are given ferrous salt, we should taste it as a ferrous salt, not ferric salt. Similarly, if instead of getting dirty brown precipitate, if we would have got gelatinous white precipitate, say I am taking aluminum sulfate now. I have taken aluminum sulfate. Water, then same standard procedure of adding ammonium chloride, a pinch of ammonium chloride, and then ammonium hydroxide. You can see the flocculate formed. This flocculate is a gel. So this gel is formed due to formation of aluminum hydroxide. So I have taken aluminum sulfate, to this I have put ammonium chloride plus ammonium hydroxide. I got AlOH whole thrice as gel white PPT. It is also called as flocculate. So in this way group 3 cations can be tested. Next is test of group 5 cation, barium, this is calcium salt, calcium, barium and strontium will give the same property. In conformity test there will be difference. This is basically calcium sulfate and it is not soluble in water. So to make it soluble in salt water, I can put concentrated HCl. So in concentrated HCl it will become soluble. We can take any acid, there is nothing like that. So if I take concentrated HCl, it will form calcium chloride, and calcium chloride is soluble in water. But calcium carbonate and sulfate is not soluble in water. See, now it has become soluble. It has become soluble. The gas which came out could be carbon dioxide, could be sulfur dioxide. Guess what it was? Such kind of brisk effervescence is generally given by carbonate. So maybe it was carbonate, but we are not doing the test of carbonates now. We are doing the separation of acid radicals. Now we will put pinch of ammonium chloride again. Then ammonium hydroxide again. This ammonium, after putting ammonium hydroxide, the bubbles which are coming out are of actually ammonia gas, and because HCl we had put, so this ammonium chloride is forming. But now see how clear the solution has become. To this clear solution, we will put ammonium carbonate, and again brisk effervescence may come, because this contains carbonate and this contains acid. But after the brisk effervescence will be there, calcium carbonate, barium carbonate or strontium carbonate will be formed. See the brisk effervescence coming out. And slowly, since HCl is excess, so it is dissolving it. Slowly and slowly it will form precipitate. See. Now see precipitate formation taking place. As HCl will get neutralized, it will form precipitate. Again dissolving. I have taken less volume of this and more volume of carbonate. See the precipitate is formed. So for the precipitate to be formed, you have to see that if HCl has been added, then ammonium hydroxide should be added to neutralize it. If it is not neutralized, then you will require lots of ammonium carbonate to form the precipitate. Alright, so this chemistry you should have in your mind. So after you get the white precipitate, then 3 parts of it has to be made, and then individual conformity test of barium, strontium and calcium has to be done, which I will tell you in the conformity test of each of the cations. Next is special test for magnesium. So if I have a magnesium salt here, yes I have. See, magnesium salts are deliquescent in nature. Deliquescent in nature. They become dilute solution when they absorb moisture from the air. So see, it is forming a solution. I have it. Now, to this magnesium salt again I will dilute it. Dilute it. Then again custom is to put ammonium chloride, pinch of ammonium chloride, then ammonium hydroxide, and then you have to put ammonium phosphate. Is there? So we can give you a lab tour also. So these are the reagent racks basically. In the reagent racks you will have to stand, and all the required reagents will be there on the table itself. Here all indicators will be kept. You can come slowly, and if something is not available in your rack, slowly you can come and take. Like I am searching for ammonium phosphate. Yes. So here itself we can show, no problem. But I will require a glass rod to scratch the wall. So we have a glass rod here. So we'll put ammonium phosphate, and you can see the density of the precipitate formed. This density will increase if I scratch the wall of the, see the precipitate, how curdy it is. The more I scratch the wall of the test tube, more curdy precipitate will be there. See, earlier how it was, now it is how. So in this way you can find out various cations. First of all we will group it. Okay, we group the given salt into the cation, that in which group the cation belongs. Then it becomes very easy for us to do the conformity test, because for these many cations like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Instead of doing 18 conformity tests, you can do 6 group separation and 1 conformity or 2 conformity test. So 18 tests can reduce to 10 tests, as easy as that. But if you are lucky, you will get salt here itself. If you are lesser lucky, you will get your salt here. And if you are not lucky at all, then you have to do all this group separation, and at last you will get magnesium. But you have to do the group separation just like we do the rituals in our prayer. In the rituals in our prayer, what do we do? There are certain procedure. Like first of all, we do the prayer of Ganesha, then we do the prayer of some other lord. Okay, then we clean our asan, we sit on that, we chant our Guru mantra. Similarly, for doing the group separation, you have to do this ritual step by step. You cannot skip. Okay. So diluted seal is just like Ganesha. The first ritual you have to do with it. Okay. Then you have to offer the prasad. Then you have to add tulsi and after that the flowers on the prasad. After that you have to offer the same to the God. After offering the same to the God, then you will see that if you have got the blessing or not, how you are feeling. And after you got the blessing, then you can conclude that today the salt test puja is complete. Otherwise, if you skip any of these, then the Mahapandit, the external examiner, will catch hold of you. Okay? The Mahapandit will come, he will come and ask you that how did you get this? And you will become nervous. So do these rituals religiously step by step. Thank you.